Hi everybody, this is going to be a quick one today because I'm filming this before work, so I'm just lounging about at the moment and it's miserable outside. Yeah. Welcome to Debbie Drama. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I'm basically becoming a booktuber at this point, but I also talk about theatre because I work at a theatre, which is partly what today's video is about. Yeah, I act. I've got some behind the scenes video from when I did Sound of Music last year, so if you're looking for that kind of content, I'll put some recommended somewhere at the top here. I'm going to talk to you about a show today. It's Pride and Prejudice Sort of. There's a co-production with the Birmingham Rec Theatre, Bristol Old Vic Northern Stage, Nuffield Southampton Theatres and Oxford Playhouse. And it was written by Isabel MacArthur after Jane Austen. This show is absolutely incredible. I was begging, borrowing and stealing, literally stealing shifts just so that I could get inside the theatre so I could get to see it. Now obviously when I'm working at the theatre our job is to watch the audience, but our audience was very well behaved on this night, which means I got to see more of the show than I would have done if they were misbehaving. Apart from the stupid idiot who decided to check their phone, and they were sat right next to me. I mean, how stupid can you get? You're sitting next to somebody who is in a Playhouse uniform and you get your phone out. Why? Pride and Prejudice Sort of. We didn't have any programmes for this one. I'm not really sure why, but instead we had these little printouts. I think we also had a printout with the actors' headshots on it as well, but I didn't get that. I just got this. This was such a brilliant show, so I'm just keeping an eye on the time because I've got like 15 minutes before I need to leave for work. So I'm going to speed through this. I was so excited about seeing this because on my first shift on it, because it was at the Playhouse for 4 days. It was at Leeds Playhouse for 4 days, but it's still on tour. I'll put a link to the tour website somewhere down here so that you can find it when it's near you, because it's bloody brilliant. And when I found out that one of the actors in it was also the one who wrote this version, I was completely mind blown because I just thought she was a genius. Yeah, it was 6 women playing every single part in Pride and Prejudice, and it starts off with them doing like a little welcome song. That was our latecomers call right at the end of the song. That was like 3 minutes into the show, and I'm smiling because it was just such a good show. So there's an advert for something else that's on at the Playhouse on the other side. Isabel MacArthur, brilliant woman. I think there was a tour of this last year in 2019 that I think one of my colleagues was saying about, and it just needs to come back. It needs to come back because I was desperate to get some tickets for my parents, but it didn't work for them with it only being on for 4 days. But yeah, so on my first shift I wasn't inside the theatre, I was outside the theatre. I was working the cloakroom, and one of the gentlemen who collected his stuff at the end of the show said it was, what was the word he used? It was like fantastic chaos. There was chaos in it, but I just thought, that's my kind of chaos. It was just so brilliant, and the way all 6 of them just play other characters, because you've got all of them playing kids. You've got Isabel MacArthur plays Mrs. Bennet, which was just genius. The comedy around Mr. Bennet, because in a show where you got 6 women on stage pretty much at all times, the only character that they couldn't cover was Mr. Bennet. And so the comedy behind a very silent Mr. Bennet in a chair with a newspaper was just brilliant, and they came into the audience and stuff. Oh, it was brilliant, and I was sat right at the top of the courtyard theatre for this one, and I am so thankful I did actually get to see this. So thank you to my colleagues who allowed me to go inside the theatre for this shift, because I haven't laughed this hard since The Play That Goes Wrong in a theatre. It was absolutely brilliant. And the thing is that when you're working it, you don't want to make it that obvious that you're laughing, but I just couldn't help it. I was looking around at my other colleagues and we were all just crying with laughter. It was absolutely brilliant. It was written by Isabel MacArthur after Jane Austen. It was directed by Paul Brotherston, and the associate director is Shilberty Highland. And the cast is Tory Burgess, Christina Gordon, Isabel MacArthur, Megan Tyler, Felix Ford and Hannah Jarrett Scott. It was just genius, just everything, because it starts off with the song. They're all in just plain white or cream dresses, and then they just build the costumes on top of those dresses. So it's like the first time you see one of them dressed up as a man, and you just got obviously this dress, and then you got the suit jacket on top for the ball. And at first you wanted to laugh because it was just like, oh, so that's like Mr. Darcy and all this sort of stuff. And then as he went on, you just ignored the fact that it was women. It just brought you inside that, and you're, as somebody who only read the book for the first time last year, I think it was helpful, because obviously there's a lot of characters that they're kind of going between, and it's just so seamless the way that they go around the stage and the way they move the costumes around and stuff, so it's all ready. And then there's a point in the second half where they've got the lightning and the jump scare with some of the characters and stuff, and it was just so good. So if Pride and Prejudice Sort of is coming to a theatre near you, go see it. It was absolutely brilliant. I don't get anything out of this, I just worked it. I'll admit I got paid to work the shift, but I'm not being paid to talk about it. I want to talk about it because it was just bloody brilliant. It was just bloody brilliant. And yeah, as you can tell, I can't stop smiling because I'm just remembering it, because I was on shift with this last night, so it's still fresh in my mind. And throughout the whole thing though, before I even knew she was the one who kind of wrote it, as well as Jane Austen, but as the person who wrote this version, I was in love with Isabel MacArthur before I even realised that she wrote it, that she wrote this version, because her as Mrs. Bennet and as Mr. Darcy, she played it so well, because you've got the craziness of Mrs. Bennet, and she's going off, because I will say, if you're looking for a traditional classical version of Pride and Prejudice, this is not it. There is swearing, there is singing, there's karaoke and dancing. It kind of flips the story and is all played by women, and it's just genius. But yeah, Pride and Prejudice Sort of. It's not at the Leeds Playhouse anymore. It was only on for 4 days, so anyway, I need to be getting ready to leave now. So I'm just gonna say, track down the website, check to see if it's coming to a theatre near you. I do know that it's on its way to Oxford and Southampton. I don't know where else, but yeah, just go see it. It was bloody brilliant, and if you know the story, it does help, but I don't think you need to know the story, because the women in this show are just so fantastic at the storytelling. Thank you for watching this video. I've been Debbie Drama. I'll have some more theatre reviews on the way for you. Just enjoy the rest of your day. I've been Debbie. If you want to subscribe, please click somewhere to subscribe. I put out videos every single Wednesday. But yeah, so thank you so much, and I will see you next week.